Are you dating a phone addict who always seems glued to their screen, often ignoring your messages in confusing ways? Then suddenly they pop up with dramatic texts that leave you feeling bewildered and anxious. If your answer is yes, be careful. This could be a sign of a narcissist, the master manipulators of relationships. They use their phones as a tool to control you, keeping you waiting and dependent on them. In this video, we'll uncover 5 strange texting habits of narcissists to help you identify and steer clear of the love traps they set. Let's dive into the mystical world of narcissists so you can protect yourself and build healthier relationships. Ready? Let's get started. Did you know that a relationship with a narcissist is like an elaborate play staged in 4 dramatic acts? Act 1. Love bombing. They sweep you off your feet with sweet words and romantic gestures, making you feel like the center of their universe. Act 2. Devaluation. Once they've secured you, they start planting seeds of doubt, eroding your confidence, and making you increasingly dependent on them. Act 3. Discard. You're coldly abandoned, left to drown in pain and despair. Act 4. Hoovering. Just as you begin to rise from the ashes, they reappear, reigniting your hopes only to extinguish them again, trapping you in a toxic cycle. Believe me, even their texting habits follow this script. Every message is carefully crafted to manipulate your emotions, each word and emoji a calculated trap. Are you curious to uncover the unique tricks they use in their texting game? Let's pull back the curtain and reveal the secrets right now. Phase 1. Overwhelming contact to shower you with love. Think back to the early days when you met them. What happened? Did they come across as your dream partner? They likely poured sweet words into your ears, painted a picture of a blissful future, and made grand promises of eternal love. They made you believe you were the one, the perfect half they had been searching for. If you recognize these signs, don't worry, you're not alone. This is the classic love bombing strategy often mentioned by psychologists. They weave an emotional web, surrounding you from every angle. Your in-person meetings are filled with charm and sweet talk. Your inbox overflows with lengthy, heartfelt emails as if they're deeply infatuated. Your phone buzzes incessantly with endless calls and late-night texts, with reasons ranging from "I miss you so much" to "I just want to hear your voice" or "I can't stop thinking about you." In reality, all of this is a carefully orchestrated act with one ultimate goal: to win you over quickly and turn you into their prey in this love trap. They aim to dominate your time and mind, locking out every corner of your life so no one else can interfere. They bombard you with excessive attention, texts and calls, constantly professing things like "you're the only one for me" or "I love you deeply," making you feel like the most special person in their world. But be alert and look at the situation rationally. A successful man with a solid career and social standing is often busy with work and various commitments. They can't always be free to text, call, or appear immediately whenever you need them. Their time is dedicated to their career, important projects, and self-development. There's simply not enough of it to devote entirely to you. Only seasoned players with the sole goal of capturing you as quickly as possible use such overwhelming tactics to surround you on all fronts. Don't let sweet words and fake affection blind you. Stay sharp to distinguish between genuine feelings and the sugary traps they set. Do you agree with me? If so, comment 1, and if not, share your thoughts. Let's build a connected community where we can listen to and support each other. Phase 2. Evoking physical desire through texts. Once they notice you're caught in their web, they move to the next step: evoking physical desire through texting. At this stage, you'll frequently receive provocative messages or images. They won't hesitate to send bold photos and will constantly encourage or even pressure you to reciprocate with similar content, disregarding your actual feelings or desires. Their sole objective is to intrude into your personal space and gradually strip away your boundaries through messages. Their aim is to exploit you to satisfy their physical needs, turning you into a tool for their gratification. They deliberately foster an intense emotional bond, making you increasingly dependent on them, much like an addiction centered on physical experiences. This behavior isn't just a form of manipulation, it's also a means of devaluing you. Initially, you might get caught up in sexting, sharing personal images, but as their attitude shifts, turning disrespectful and contemptuous, feelings of shame and self-blame begin to surface. You may not realize this was their true intention from the start. However, understand that this is all part of their script, a calculated, addictive behavior. They often juggle multiple victims, alternating between them, constantly demanding sensitive images. Once they achieve their goal, they easily discard their prey, either permanently or temporarily, until they need to resume their toxic game. The cruelest part is their indifference to the consequences. You endure emotional pain, a diminished sense of self-worth, and even lingering fear. Worse, they often use the images or information you've shared to threaten, maintain control, or make you feel trapped. Phase 3. The ghosting and haunting stage. When narcissists feel that you're completely entangled in their web of love, they shift to a new game, gradually withdrawing attention and becoming distant. The once constant messages and calls now dwindle, replaced by eerie silence. They might send a brief, half-hearted good morning text and then disappear for the entire day, leaving you waiting and anxious. If you confront them, they'll casually offer flimsy excuses like, "I was in a meeting" or "something urgent came up." Should you press further, they'll deflect and accuse you of being too sensitive, selfish, or overreacting. This abrupt change leaves you feeling disoriented and desperate for the attention and affection you once received. It's during this stage that you sink deeper into the emotional quicksand they've created, becoming a puppet in their hands. This intermittent ghosting tactic is one of the most insidious and harmful manipulation strategies narcissists employ. Their goal isn't just to make you feel abandoned. It's to sow seeds of doubt, insecurity, and inadequacy in your mind. They want you to question yourself. What did I do wrong? Why are they treating me like this? By ghosting you, and then occasionally reappearing with superficial gestures of care, they manipulate your emotions, causing you to doubt your perceptions and feelings. You may start wondering if you're overreacting or too sensitive. Their erratic behavior traps you in a state of emotional withdrawal. You crave the attention and love you once had and become willing to do anything to regain their focus. Watch out for red flags like unexplained absences, last-minute cancellations, or vague excuses like "I'm busy" or "something came up." These are signs your relationship is on a downward spiral. Narcissists are tightening their grip of control, making you completely dependent on them. Eventually, they might ghost you for longer periods or even vanish from your life entirely without explanation, leaving you waiting in vain while they enjoy their life however they please, with whomever they want. Phase 4. Texting you whenever they please. One of the classic tactics of narcissists is sending urgent, demanding messages that throw you into a state of worry and anxiety. They may stay silent for hours or even days, only to suddenly flood you with texts like "call me right now," or "where are you? Why aren't you answering?" alongside a flurry of missed calls. When you rush to respond, they act annoyed and blame you for making them wait. They'll interrogate you with questions like, "What's more important than me?" or "Why didn't you pick up?" regardless of the validity of your reasons. In reality, these so-called urgent messages are rarely about anything important. Their true purpose is to exert control over you, making you feel obligated to always be available to them. They revel in your anxiety and insecurity, finding satisfaction in the power to manipulate your emotions. Even after the relationship ends and you've cut ties, narcissists may unexpectedly reappear, disrupting the peace you've worked hard to rebuild. They disregard your boundaries, time, and circumstances. Whether you're asleep, just waking up, spending time with someone else, or in the middle of an important meeting, they don't care. To them, nothing is more important than regaining your attention at that moment. Like demanding children, they expect you to focus entirely on them, regardless of the time or place. Why? Because in the narcissist's world, you're their property, a puppet who should submit to their control. Their inflated ego and sense of entitlement make them believe you should always prioritize them over work, personal life, or even your basic needs. If you dare to focus on something else, they see it as betrayal, a disloyal act deserving punishment. Understand that when someone contacts you late at night over trivial matters, it's often just an excuse to bother you and maintain control. Stay alert. Don't let yourself get drawn into midnight conversations or unnecessary situations. Such interactions will only lead to more trouble. Protect your peace by holding firm to your boundaries, steering clear of temptation, and focusing on your own life. Phase 5. They text other supplies even when they're with you. The blatant disrespect of narcissists becomes strikingly evident even when they are physically present with you. While you try to foster a connection, they're glued to their phones, texting or chatting with other supplies people they are also attempting to manipulate. They brazenly ignore your presence, making you feel like an invisible shadow in the relationship you deeply cherish. Even when you're both online, they'll coldly leave your messages seen without a reply, leaving you in a state of disappointment, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. This indifference acts like a slow-acting poison, gradually eroding your self-esteem and confidence. It sends a silent yet cruel message: you're not important enough to deserve their attention or even basic respect. While you pour your energy into nurturing the relationship, they see you as a conquered prize, a prey no longer worth pursuing. In their minds, there's no need to make any further effort because they believe you're already under their control. Their coldness not only causes you pain but also traps you in a spiral of self-doubt and torment. Questions like, "What did I do wrong?" or "How can I change to bring them back to how they were before?" replay endlessly in your mind, leading you to blame yourself for things you didn't cause. You start searching for excuses for their behavior, rationalizing their lack of respect, and in doing so, you slowly lose yourself in a desperate attempt to save an unbalanced relationship. What's even more heartbreaking is that no matter how hard you try, they continue to keep their distance. To them, your care and attention are not something to value, but rather a tool they use to maintain control. Through indifference and cold behavior, they turn the relationship into a toxic game, where you are not only the victim but also an unwitting accomplice, blaming yourself and losing confidence in your own worth. Remember this: their indifference and lack of respect are not your fault. The pain and confusion you feel are the direct result of their cruel behavior, actions of someone who doesn't deserve your sacrifice of self-worth or emotions. You deserve genuine love and care, not the disregard and coldness of someone who neither understands nor values your true worth.